Published a column recently. You just got back from Riyadh, spent time with the Crown Prince and the Deputy Crown Prince and Defense Minister. How do you think the Saudis would react to the kind of ideas we're discussing here?
Well, the first thing I can tell you is that I've heard the term Israeli and Palestinian mentioned a lot more this morning than I did in 4 days in Riyadh. So,
did they mention it at all?
I heard it almost never. And I don't want to suggest that they don't care anymore, but I will tell you their focus is elsewhere. I just make a few very quick observations. They are terrified of one thing, that ISIS attacks Israel. Because if ISIS opens up a front against Israel, your Sunni alliance is going to go out the window. So in the previous panel, people noted ISIS I think it was Amos, that their guns are focused not toward Israel right now, Zaire. Okay, if that changes, that is something the Saudis and the Gulf Arabs are terrified of. If these guys actually make the Palestinian issue and fighting Israel one of their lead messages. They burned through 1/5 of their financial reserves this year. 5 times 1 ends up as 0 for them, okay? So they know that's coming. That's one trend he's looking at. Second trend, my old pal, Crown Prince Abdullah and King Abdullah, who was a real subversive in his own way, back in 2004 said, you know what, any Saudi who wants to study abroad, I'll pay for it. Today, post 9/11, there are now 100,000 Saudis studying in institutions of higher education in America and another 100,000 in Europe. 30,000 come back every year with Western education, looking for jobs, okay? And the third trend is, because of the budget constraints they're looking at, they have to cut subsidies on oil. They basically burn in the summer 500,000 barrels of oil a day, of their own oil that they should be selling. And because they subsidize all these things, they're going to have to cut subsidies and raise taxes. I would tell you that about Saudi Arabia. They're so domestically focused. This touches to the very core of the legitimacy of the regime. So the idea that they will lead this parade is, I think, a little unrealistic. And I go back to where I started. They are terrified that ISIS makes Israel target number 1. That has huge problematic implications for them.